I'm Cathy, 65, sitting here in my cozy Arizona condo, looking out at the beautiful mountain view. It's hard to believe how far I've come. The peace and tranquility that surround me now are a stark contrast to the storm that once raged in my life. It all came to a head in the courtroom. The air was thick with tension as the judge read her verdict. "Mrs. Ava Thompson," she began, her voice firm and unwavering, "I have never witnessed such blatant financial fraud and manipulation. You borrowed $45,000 from your husband's mother, agreed to specific repayment terms, and then spent years avoiding your obligations while squandering over $650,000 on personal luxuries and an extramarital affair." Ava, my daughter-in-law, started sobbing, but the judge wasn't finished. When confronted, "You physically assaulted the woman you had stolen from and attempted to manipulate the legal system to escape the consequences of your actions. I am ruling in favor of the plaintiff. You are ordered to pay Mrs. Cathy the full amount of $70,000 within 30 days. If you fail to comply, I will authorize wage garnishment and asset seizure." As I sat there, listening to the judge's words, a flood of memories came rushing back. It all started on a sunny Tuesday morning in September. I was in my garden, pruning my roses, when I heard the familiar sound of my son Ethan's car pulling into the driveway. But there was an urgency in the way the doors slammed that made my heart sink. When I walked around to the front of my small two-story house, I found Ethan standing on the porch with Ava. She had two large suitcases beside her, and Ethan was struggling to carry more bags from the trunk. "Mom," Ethan called out, his voice strained. "We need to talk." I wiped my hands on my gardening apron and studied their faces. Ethan looked exhausted, his hair messy and dark circles under his eyes. Ava, on the other hand, was dressed in a designer outfit, her makeup perfect, as if she didn't have a care in the world. We went inside, and Ethan sat heavily in the old armchair where his father used to sit. "Mom, we sold the house," he said. The words hit me like a ton of bricks. The house on Oak Street, the one I'd helped them buy with $45,000 from my hard-earned retirement savings. I'd spent countless weekends helping them renovate it, painting the walls and planting the garden that Ava never seemed to appreciate. "How much did you get for it?" I asked, my voice trembling. "$650,000, Ava answered quickly, a hint of excitement in her voice. I was stunned. That was more money than I'd made in the last 12 years of working. "Where are you moving?" I asked, hoping they'd found a nice new place. The silence that followed was deafening. Finally, Ethan said, "Actually, Mom, we were hoping we could stay here with you, just temporarily while we figure things out." I was shocked. "Stay here? But what happened to the money from the sale?" I asked. Ava smoothed her skirt and said, "I had some expenses. Personal things." I pressed her for more details, and she reluctantly admitted that she'd bought jewelry, clothes, taken a spa trip to Hawaii with her sister, and paid off her credit card debts. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Ethan, my responsible son, had let his wife spend all that money so recklessly. I looked at him, hoping he'd say something, but he just sat there, his head in his hands. I told them no. I couldn't let them stay in my small home. I'd worked for 35 years to pay off this house, to have a place where I could live out my retirement in peace. Ava's reaction was immediate. She started screaming at me, calling me a selfish old woman and saying that I was trying to destroy their marriage. Things escalated quickly, and in front of our neighbors, Ava raised her hand and slapped me across the face. I staggered back, more from shock than pain. Ethan just stood there, looking lost and confused. I didn't hesitate. I called the police, and Ava was arrested for assault. That same day, I called my lawyer. I knew I had to take action. When I went through the paperwork from when they bought the house, I found a promissory note. I'd contributed a significant amount to the down payment, and the lawyer had insisted on making it a loan to protect my interests. Over the next few days, my lawyer's investigator dug deeper into Ava's background. We discovered that before she married Ethan, she had a pattern of using her boyfriend's credit cards without permission. And the boutique she'd invested in? It was a complete sham, just a way for her friend to get $300,000 for free. Worst of all, she'd been having an affair with a wealthy married man for over 8 months. She'd used Ethan's money to fund their relationship, buying jewelry, going on vacations, and having expensive dinners. When Ethan found out about all this, he was devastated. He finally saw Ava for who she really was. He decided to file for divorce and promised to do everything he could to pay me back. But Ava wasn't going to go down without a fight. She hired a lawyer and claimed that my lawsuit was harassment and that the promissory note was invalid. We had to gather all the evidence we could, phone records, emails, and receipts, to prove our case. And now, here we are in the courtroom, waiting for the judge's decision. The victory in court was a huge relief, but I know that Ava won't give up easily. She sent me a threatening text message after the trial, saying, "I know where you live. This isn't over." But I'm not afraid. I've installed a security system, and I have the law on my side. Ethan is doing much better now. He's found a new job and is living in a small apartment. He's making monthly payments to pay me back, and I can see the old Ethan, the responsible and kind-hearted one, slowly coming back. A year ago, I made the decision to sell my house and move to this retirement community in Arizona. It's been the best decision I've ever made. I have new friends, a beautiful garden, and a peaceful life. Ethan visits me regularly, and we never mention Ava. Some chapters in life need to be closed so that new ones can begin. Now, as I sit here reflecting on all that has happened, I'm reminded of the importance of standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. I'm stronger than I ever thought I could be, and I've learned that sometimes the most important battles are the ones we never wanted to fight. So, I'm curious. If you were in my place, what would you do? Have you ever faced a similar situation? Comment below and share your thoughts.